Well, hello again. I'm back from work. I was basically gone for a whole month, so I haven't had time to work on the bikes. But here I am. Be home this week, so hopefully I'll be able to tackle some of the last things we have on the Honda. So here it is. Here's what we have. As of last update, we had the tank to go and finishing up the valves in the engine and put it all together. So we did that. I got all the shims. I had to undo a little bit of a couple of mistakes that I did before. I had to remeasure the gaps and get the shims, the correct shims. Took me a little while to find them on eBay, and so you remember they were lost in the mail, so that took a little longer time. But they're all set. They're all within spec. And cover is on. I hung the carbs with new insulators on both ends and new clamps. So brand new clamps and new insulators. That took me quite a while. This setup is a beast to install and remove, since the airbox that doesn't give me much room to move it back. So it's just a hassle. I had the box removed all the way back to the stop, and I actually had the insulators here pushed in the airbox to have enough room to install the carbs, hang them on the insulators on this end, and then kind of fish the insulators from inside the box and pull them out and install them. It was just a drag, but they're installed, and the next thing was to put fluid in the brake. Now I did that, and since it's been dry for quite a while, I had air in the line, so that's why this thing's been sitting there hanging for now 2 or 3 days or so. Hopefully by now all the little bubbles, whatever bubbles I had left, they're up here, so I'll be able to squeeze them out, and that would be it for that. That will be installed back on the disc. And also I wanted to cut the cables. This is the setup that I have here now. Both throttle cables coming in, making this big loop behind the light, the headlight, and then going under. The same thing with the clutch cable. Since these were the correct length for the original bars, hanging kind of up here, so lowering the handlebars obviously end up with a lot of slack on the cables, and I don't like that. So I found a lot of information on how to cut the cables, and I gave it a go, and I ended up destroying my clutch cable. So what I did was I ended up buying a new set. Now I researched the cables, and the information that I got was that for the CB750 obviously came with taller handlebars, and the CB1100F, 1983 1100F, came with lower bars. So the stock cables for the 1100F are shorter than the CB50. So I bought those ones. I bought stock cables for stock cables for the 1100, and I got them in the mail while I was gone. here are the two throttle cables and the clutch. And last night before going to bed, I kind of eyeballed the throttle cables, and they seem to work just fine. They seem to be able to just come in and go straight down under the tank onto the butterflies on the carbs. So I'll be doing that, taking these two out, and these are brand new. The original ones I already changed, so these are brand new, 750 some. I just maybe put them back on eBay. They had only 70 miles. That's all I rode the bike for last late summer before taking it all apart again. So let's see if somebody needs them. This one's gonna go to the garbage. And what I did was I cut it and I heated the drill a new hole on the little lead, head, and I was gonna fill it with more lead, and I got it too hot, so I melted the whole thing. So I'll keep this one to just keep practicing. You never know when I'm gonna need to cut another cable. So I'll be doing that, and the tank. So I started painting the tank. I primed it, and I put the first, the silver coat before taping it and painting the black on the outside and the red on the inside. But the silver highlighted all the imperfections. So as you can see here, I don't know, I might be able to focus, but there's a lot of scratches that I missed. That was where the other stripe went. You can actually see, where the previous stripe was going. And on this side right here, let's see if I can focus on that. I mean, I did a horrible job sanding this thing down. I don't know if you can see that one too. Yeah, you see it's everywhere. So I can either keep going with it and live with it, or look at that nasty scratch. I don't know where that one came from. Let's see if I can focus on that. Yeah, so as I said, I can live with it and keep on painting put the other two colors on it, or just go back and start sanding the whole thing again and take the time and do a good job. I really want to get on the bike and start riding it, but I also know that my OCD will prevail, and as I'm riding the bike, I'm gonna keep looking at those scratches on the tank, and it will bug the hell out of me. So I'm gonna take the tank and sand the whole thing again, and make sure that it's all smooth before I put a coat of primer again. It was fine. It was perfect the first time, but obviously I had to screw up the painting, so started over again, and now I'm making all kinds of silly mistakes. So that's it. And so either today or right now, I'll start with the cables. I'll take the tank out and unhook the longer cables and connect the shorter ones. I'm gonna need 2 more hands to finish the brakes. I want to wait until my son gets here and help me finish, and hopefully just 10 more, 5 more minutes of bleeding. The brake will get rid of the bubbles. If not, might have to throw in the towel and ask for help, professional help with that. And that's it. And then will be just the tank again. Still the tank being the last thing. Everything else works. So yeah, let's get on it. And I don't know if I show you guys the new little ramp that I bought for the storm. That's what I use now. I aim that, point that thing out the garage, drive away, come back, I spin it, and I drive onto it, and then I can just move it around here. I don't have much room to move around, so it was kind of a pain in the butt to come in and start going left, up and down, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then back it all up here. Now I can just drive in and spin the whole thing and push it back. Awesome tool. I love it. And once this baby's done, I might buy another one for this one, so I can just push both bikes up to the corner and move them around to wherever I want, easily. Yeah, I love it. That's it. I'll get on with it. Get on with the cables and brakes and tank. All right. See you soon. Alright, so there we have it. Cables installed. Now there's no loop. They go straight down from the clutch and from the throttle. Both throttle cables gone under, and there's no snagging, but I'm noticing I gotta readjust the throttle here. It's not snapping back, but that's it. So what we have left now is finishing up the bleeding of the brake, and then the tank, and I'll need to just readjust the throttle cables. That's it. I like it. I like the way it's coming about. Yeah, I like the cables a lot better. Just low profile and hidden there in between the light and the gauges. Cool. All right. Keep moving on. All right, that's it. And yeah, and then I'll start posting the updates on the tank. All right. Have a good one. See you soon. Bye bye. All right, update. I fixed the throttle. Now the throttle snaps back. Yeah, you can see there. Now it's working properly. Love it. The clutch works also. I did take the bike on a run yesterday. I filled the bowls with gas and I took it down the block and back. Everything works. I love it. Came back and started working on the tank, and this morning I filled the carbs again, and I noticed that carb number 1 started leaking fuel from the drain. So I turned everything off, empty the bowl. I figure it's going to be the float valve that wasn't, closing, letting the bowl, the floats to close. So I took it out, cleaned everything, checked that everything was working, and it was. Put it back together, pour gas again on the bowls, and then 1, 2, and 3 were pissing fuel out. So I just stopped. I'm trying to figure out what's going on now with the carbs, which I haven't had any problems with it since I synced them, cleaned them, rebuilt them, and synced them. Yeah, when I started the bike yesterday, the bike was just purring at 1000 RPM. It was just so cool. So I'm just gonna keep moving on, and but yeah, throttle it's done. Actually, I ended up taking my old grips, and I don't like them anymore, so I'm waiting for a new set to come, and then I'll install it. I installed the bar and mirrors, and but yeah, that will be it. Let's see, throttles are done. The brake, I did check the brake yesterday, and it's much better. There's a little bit of lag in there, so I might still have a little bit of air in the system, or it might be just a 30-year-old, a 37-year-old hose. It might be time to change it. That's the only thing that I don't like now. The hose is too long for it. You see this big loop here. and then it does another loop around here before it goes to the caliper. So I might just get a new hose, shorter one. Clutch works nice, and yeah, the engine's all put up together now, and you gotta deal with the balls. And this is the tank. There it is. 2 out of the 3 colors. So I just finished the red maybe 2-3 hours ago, and I'm working again tomorrow, so I'll be out of town for the next week, next 5 days or so. So this will have plenty of time to cure, and then I'll come home, tape it, and put the last touch of the silver, and hopefully I don't screw it up again, and that will be it. Tank will be done. Yeah, came out really well this time. I'll put pictures. I ended up using chemicals this time, and I scraped all the paint off to the bare metal. I had a few dings on the tank from the last time, so I put filler again, sanded it, and actually one of them was like right around here. So now you can't really see it. Maybe you can see it now a little bit, maybe there, but it's barely noticeable, if anything. And there's another one. There was another one right there, but it's gone. So yeah, it came out really well. And prime, I think 2 days ago, and the black, painted the black yesterday, and the red today. So moving along, but now the carbs. That's it. I'll back on the road again tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be able to get back on it next weekend. That's it. Alright, you guys take care. See you soon. Bye bye.